Hey everyone, thanks for joining. I wanted to do just a quick overview for those who aren't even familiar with the Sandbox as to what it is and what you can do with your 3D Paca. So we've got a whole series of videos that go into not just downloading the assets, right, the 3D models and the files to how to make changes, how to customize, how to kind of turn them into your own, how to import them into this software called Game Maker and go into VoxEdit and make the changes, and then eventually export them into a program like Light Tracer and make a render so you could put your Paca next to you in a family photo because you're sad and you didn't have any family and this is all you've got. So great, now you got a Paca and we're happy. So Sandbox is really where all this started, and Sandbox is a Metaverse platform. It's a Web3 platform. It is based on the idea that the Sandbox has, and I've got the website up here, the Sandbox has like a map. And in that map is a certain number of lands. I think it's roughly 166,000 plots of land that can be combined into some of these bigger plots like you see here. And on those plots of land are the opportunity to create experiences for people, right? You could call them games, but I don't think they're all going to be games. I think in many cases what it's going to be is art or an expression of people. I think in some cases it may be an advertisement for, vacuum cleaners and dishwashers and stuff. I mean, the metaverse is going to be full of all sorts of stuff. And even as you kind of look through the Sandbox here, some of these bigger plots, right, which are roughly, I would guess that's almost 30 by 30 land, right? It's huge for Warner Music Group. Here's The Walking Dead. Atari has got multiple places in here. Who else pops up? Obviously, Snoop Dogg is a big player. He's got a few different lands. The Smurfs. I mean, where else can you get Snoop Dogg and the Smurfs in the same spot? I think as you look through these, you guys are seeing Adidas. There's a lot of brands and a lot of NFT cyberpunks. There's a lot of NFT projects as well, right? Care Bears that you all recognize. And so this is the overall map. And so Sandbox is still in the alpha phase, which means that there's a lot more functionality coming. And so the goal of these videos is to say, look, as we hope for the future, and we know that there's going to be a ton of utility we're going to be able to bring to the 3D assets in particular, and even the 2D. There's a plan to bridge the 2D Genesis Pacas into walking, biped, two-legged avatars, but those are on the roadmap over the next 6 to 8 months, and we don't want to wait. We want to give you guys the ability to actually be making and doing things with these assets right now. And so, the goal right now is to take what the box that we're in, the limitations we have, but work within those to provide some fun and some ways that you can be leveraging those. So, that being said, as we look at the overall map, you don't need to own land in the Sandbox to create an experience. Now, ultimately, at some point in the future, you will need to own a piece of land if you want to publish that experience so that other people can visit it, on the Metaverse map. But at this point, that's not necessary. And so you look, I was just going to highlight, Alpacadabraz has their own plot right here, close to the Atari plot, where we've got, I think, 36 lands to develop. And so you've seen trailers for Paca Death Run. By now, maybe the Social Hub trailer has launched. The Pacastrophe trailer has launched. I think you've seen the Paca Racer. I think you should have seen some of the content. We've been busy building stuff to fill out this space. And right now, Alpha Season 3 is about to launch. So while I'm recording this video. So that said, okay, cool, Sandbox, I get it. It's a giant map and you make experience, but like, tell me more. And so as we look at the way Sandbox has been put together, it really gives the ability to create games or experiences to the average individual. You don't need to have a deep understanding of a programming language. You don't have to understand even game design necessarily. The Sandbox created two pieces of software, one called Game Maker and one called VoxEdit. And so VoxEdit is the software that you use, and these work both on Mac and PC, is the software you use to create NFT assets. And so the files that you have likely just downloaded, are Vox edit files. You'll see VXMs, VXAs, VXRs. We've got a video that explains what all of those are, but that file is used in Vox edit. And so you'll open that file and you can make tweaks and adjustments to your creation. You can upload it as it is and not touch it and say, look, I don't want to mess around with this thing. I just want it in Game Maker so I can play with it. Totally. It is set up right now that file is ready to rock and roll in the Sandbox. So if you've already gotten the file downloaded, you understand what the Sandbox is, close this one, jump into the Vox edit, learn how to upload that into Game Maker. Game Maker is the other piece of software that they created. Think of it sort of a Minecraft meets Roblox sort of environment that allows you to create a game without having to code. So you assign behaviors and traits and some basic logic to assets. So, you know, in a future video, you'll see we create a Paca, we put him into Game Maker, and we say, you know what? When I get close to him, he asks me a question. When I get close to him, he attacks me. When I get, you know, when this happens, that happens. It's really like a lot of if-then statements, and you assign behaviors to these Pacas, and it makes for a really, really simple way to build out a game really quickly. And the assets that you have just downloaded have been optimized for Game Maker in the sense that the animations, the names of the animations, and how they tie into what the software is looking for has already been done for you. There's walks and runs and attacks and death and climbing and all the things that you would normally have to build from scratch if you were going to do this on your own. We've already done. They're baked in. You're ready to go with the avatar. So in order to get started, you do need to go to the Sandbox site. You'll want to download Game Maker and Vox edit. You'll want to make sure that you've got a wallet, or at the very least a email name and password set up. Obviously, if you're buying NFTs, you understand what MetaMask is and how those things connect, but you want to connect your wallet to the Sandbox site. And then dive into the rest of the videos. I mean, ultimately, I think the hope for me is what you guys take away is, hey, this is really doable. This really isn't that difficult. The learning curve isn't steep. It's not like learning, you know, Blender or Java or some like language where there's just a lot to get into. It's really within a couple clicks, you at the very least, you could be running around within the game as your Paca. And then you build the space. If you've ever played Minecraft, you can terraform a space really easy. So I hope that's like a helpful overview. There are videos in this series that go into detail, into Vox edit, into Game Maker, and then into the other support places to make marketing materials. But I look forward to seeing what you guys make. And please, as you guys create things with these Pacas, reach back out to us. Post them to Twitter. Tag Alpacadabraz. Tag Warehouse Phil. Tag all your friends. Tag your grandma if she's still around. She needs to know about this, right? We want to see the creations because I think that's the best part. At the end of the day, NFTs and the community are important. But if you're able to express yourself and you're able to create with these assets and you're empowered to make something that allows you to create art or a form of expression or an elicit emotion from somebody, that's the goal of this. So I hope that you're able to take the heart and soul, the happiness, the Lisa Frank meets Garbage Pail Kids of Alpacadabraz and bring that to life and share with us. Thanks.